All right, this salmon is seasoned just right inside a light, flaky puff pastry. It's the kind of dish you can wow your friends with. Marguerite Henderson is here with her Salmon En Croute.
Yes.
Okay, so I took the ancestry DNA test. I'm a little French, but I don't know what en croute means. Could you explain that to us?
It just means stuffed in a pastry.
Okay.
So it could be salmon, it could be halibut, it could be beef. So right now, beef Wellington is coming back. So it's beef tenderloin that's wrapped in a puff pastry with pate in there.
My.
You could do a pork tenderloin in a pastry, and that's en croute. So anything baked in pastry
Is en croute.
En croute. It could be
Perfect.
a pie crust. It doesn't have to be puff pastry, but we're doing salmon, which is it's one of the most elegant entrees. You could really impress your friends with this, and I'm telling you, it's so easy.
And it smells so good. Where do we start with this?
Okay, all right. So where we have to start is puff pastry sheets.
Okay.
Make sure you get the sheets, not the shells, because I've done that. The shell, it says shells, but you know, when you get home and you're like, ah, it's not what I wanted.
And so it comes like this.
Comes like this.
Okay.
So there are two of these in a package. So again, depending on the size of your cut of meat or fish, you might want to cut it according to what the size of your salmon is.
Okay,
So, right?
so you've got this piece of salmon, so
Right.
you're really only
So this-
needing
Yeah,
a
so
little
what I
piece.
did was, it was a little too big, so I cut the ends off and I tucked them underneath.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
And you leave the skins on?
Leave the skin on,
Okay.
you know, nobody's gonna complain about that.
fine.
So just put a little salt and pepper right
Okay.
on top, right?
So easy, salt and pepper,
Salt and
not
pepper.
too fancy.
Now, we made a topping, and I made this earlier, and it's still warm, but I'm using dill and
Dill.
thyme, which are a perfect accompaniment to fish.
I can't have fish without dill, I feel like.
I
you
know, but you
just
want to
makes
let that
sense.
cool, because what will happen is if you put that on top now, it'll melt the puff pastry.
Okay.
So I've made this earlier, okay? So it's cold, and you just put it right on top. Now,
And what are the vegetables?
so it's leeks and carrots.
Okay.
So leeks, this is a leek. You cut it into thin strips or nice thin rounds, okay?
Does it give it a crunch, or when it's baked, does it?
No, it's really soft and it has very fragrant. That's what you're smelling.
really
is.
smells
I know, it
good.
smells great, doesn't it?
Okay, how about this
Okay.
assembly? Do you have
just,
to have,
Just kind of get it rolled up in there.
just make sure all the salmon's
All
covered?
the salmon is covered. You know, tuck it in.
Do you have to pinch the corners?
It does. Just make sure it's not leaking out, because we don't want all those juices to.
We wouldn't want the leeks to leak
leak.
out, right?
Exactly. Okay. Now, if you have any pastry left over, you can cut up a strip and just roll it into like a little flower and put it right on
That is
top.
so
I know,
cute,
isn't that
so
cute? And then you
fancy.
can make leaves with some of the other size.
I love it.
Okay, so then you have to do this. You have to brush it. This is right before you bake it. So you could do this earlier in the day, put it in the refrigerator, okay? Put it on a baking sheet like that. Right before you're ready to bake it, at 425 for about 20 minutes, you have to brush it with an egg wash, which is egg with a little bit of cream in it.
What's the ratio?
About a tablespoon of cream to 1 egg.
Perfect.
Okay, beat that up. Then you take this and then you put it on your pastry, on your sheet. That you have puff pastry, always bake it on a parchment so it doesn't stick. Okay, so I just took this out about 5 minutes ago.
Oh my goodness.
So here's the
Look
platter.
at that presentation.
I know, so the platter is so beautiful. Oh, I forgot to put a lemon. You have to put a lemon on
Okay.
it, but that says it in the recipe.
Perfect.
But you could use lemon, or you could use, right now, blood oranges are in season. So if you put a blood
Really?
orange in there, it would
Do you
give it the...
bake it with it?
Yeah, you bake it right on. So I should have unrolled it.
No, you're fine.
Okay. But then you just serve it with some blood oranges on the side, and then some extra lemon so people could squeeze that on their salmon when they cut it open. So that's one serving, one generous serving.
Very generous. I was going to say.
Yeah, so
leftovers.
you could do 4 servings with a package of puff pastry and make them earlier in the day, bake them off at 425 for about 20 minutes.
20 minutes,
okay.
And you were mentioning you could do different variations of this.
You could.
Okay.
So, okay, some people don't like salmon. I don't know who those people are.
Right,
But
we're
some
not
people,
friends.
but some people don't like salmon. So you could use halibut.
Okay.
You could use swordfish. You could use cod.
Okay.
Okay, and then if you want to get really fancy, what you could do is pan-sear a beef tenderloin, you know, like an 8-ounce fillet.
Okay.
And then put it in the puff pastry and do the same thing. You could put the leeks and the carrots on top. Don't put the lemon.
Do you ever want to put sauce or anything?
You know what? I think this is so rich on its own that I don't serve it with a sauce. But hey, if you want to put like an aioli or something on the side, perfect.
And I've seen, so puff pastry, I've seen them in the freezer at your local grocery store.
Yeah, just buy them in the freezer.
Same ones.
Same ones. I always keep 2 or 3 in the freezer because you never know. You never know who's going to show up for dinner.
Do you keep salmon in your freezer too? You want that fresh.
Yeah, you do want the fresh. And so that was a 4 or 5 ounce piece of salmon, but like I said, halibut works great. And it's so easy to do and it's so impressive.
It really is. And you're so talented, Marguerite. Where can we find more of your recipes?
Well, my cookbook, I pretty much retired last year. So
But you're still here with us.
I'm still here.
Come in.
So I'm on Instagram where I put recipes. So it's Marguerite H100 on Instagram. And I take tons of pictures of food. I mean, I live for food.
Right.
Some people don't live for food.
No, who are those people?
I don't know,
I'm so
but
sorry.
you know, when I travel, the first thing I want to do is take a food tour. I want to go around and see what what the locals are eating.
Right, and you bring that knowledge back to us.
Oh
We
yeah, the
appreciate
ideas that you get,
Oh,
right?
my goodness.
So Salmon En Croute.
Salmon En Croute, with the presentation and all the colors are beautiful. It
So
smells amazing.
you eat with your eyes. So you know they say the more color on your plate, the better. These are purple potatoes.
I know purple potatoes. We've got those back home. in Hawaii.
I know.
Oh yeah,
I was
voila.
just there. I just know.
Yeah.
And then these are the new. They call them carrots of many colors, and you can buy them like this already peeled at my favorite little store, Trader Joe's. And then, like I said, blood oranges are out. Oh, probably just until April 1st or so.
And then we'll get
so
them back.
yeah, but squeeze orange on your salmon instead of lemon.
Oh,
It's
Marguerite,
really good.
thank you so much for being here.